Hey everybody, welcome to Miami Beach. Lots going on here in Miami Beach, a lot of construction. Let me give you a quick look around before we get into the episode. So you're looking at North Miami Beach there. I'm going to go ahead and swipe this around here so you can see the rest. Lots of cranes going up. Ross, thanks for joining. Now you're looking southern Miami Beach, heading down. So we're actually in the Sunny Isles. Paula, thanks for joining. So listen, on this episode, I want to respect everybody's time and everybody's bandwidth. And on this episode, what I want to talk about is actually sales, right? Everything starts with sales. So as an entrepreneur, you need to keep that in mind. And if you're not a salesperson, well, I'm here to tell you that you are a salesperson. Everybody's a salesperson, just some people are better at it than others, right? Rice, thanks for joining us. So it's really important that you learn how to sell, because without sales, you really don't have a business, right? Because without sales, you have no customers. And without sales, you have no customers. And with no customers, you have no revenue. With no revenue, you have no employees. And with no employees, you have no business, right? So it's really important that you learn how to close business as an entrepreneur. Now, we've all been, hey Frano, thanks for joining. We've all been salespeople all our lives, right? Just some people do it better than others because they practice a lot in sales. So it's really important that you learn how to sell. And, we've all sold as children. We always sold our parents and, telling them what we wanted. We got our way. Allison, thanks for joining us. So it's really important that as an entrepreneur, if you're afraid of selling, you need to get over that, and you need to either find a partner who can sell or just go at it and just do it yourself, right? Jay Champagne, thanks for joining. So everyone is a salesperson, especially when you're, Ricardo, thanks. Everyone's a salesperson, right? In business, if you have your own business, you may love operations and marketing and all those other aspects, but you really you have to learn how to sell and how to like selling. And don't think you're not a salesperson. Hi, Catherine, thanks for joining us. Because everyone's a salesperson, like I said. So, when I started my company, this latest venture, Lodging Interactive, I actually went out and busted my ass and made sales calls in New York. And I used to take public transportation in because I was watching my funds, right? It was a startup company. And went out and made sales calls, met with hotel operators all across Manhattan. And those hot, sweaty, hot, hazy, humid days, I just went out there and made it happen. I remember once I was actually riding, sorry, I don't speak Spanish, Ricardo. I was actually riding in a New York City subway, and my shirt was so wet. This is a disgusting story, but I'm going to share it with you because you need to learn the truth about being a successful entrepreneur. Yeah, I'm in Sunny Isles. My shirt was so wet on my back that I was actually riding the subway, and I got home and my wife said, "What's up with your back? It's all black." My shirt was actually cleaning the subway seat. That's how filthy it was and how soaking sweaty I was from making sales calls. So you got to get out there and make sales calls. Let me just, for those of you who don't know me, who are new to the scope, my name is DJ Valori. I am a successful entrepreneur. I do not have anything to sell. Portuguese, sorry about that, Ricardo. I don't have anything to sell. I'm not selling a book like many others online. I'm not selling a webinar that you have to buy. I'm basically giving you free advice, right? Free advice that will hopefully help you as an entrepreneur. I run a multi-million-dollar multinational company. Oh, why it got dark there all of a sudden. And I want to basically provide tips to everybody out there who wants to start a company. So if you have any question, JKS, thanks for joining. If you really like these scopes, I do them 3 times a week, 3 or 4 times in between, running my business. Today I happen to be in Miami Beach. What kind of car do I have? I've got a nice car, expensive car, German car. But that's irrelevant. Those benefits come with hard work, man. When I started the business, I had nothing. I started from just a blank piece of paper. So you can do it, and don't be, worried about what kind of, do I fly a private plane? No, I don't fly a private plane. But that's all, those are material things, man. Who cares about that? If you're a real entrepreneur, you don't get excited with those things, right? You get excited about building businesses and employing people. That's really what drives you. So what kind of business am I in? I'm in a digital marketing agency business. The company's called Lodging Interactive, Lodging Interactive. We work with hotels and resorts. We help them with their online marketing, which is why I'm here in Miami Beach, just helping we have a couple of customers down here. Hey, Rosella, thanks for joining me. We're in Miami Beach, Sunny Isles. So I was just saying, we've got a customer that I'm meeting with tomorrow here in Miami Beach. I do not live in Miami. I live up in New Jersey. So I just flew in for this meeting. And then I'll be heading back tomorrow. About 11:30, we'll be leaving to the airport and flying back. So it's a quick trip in and out. So again, as an entrepreneur, you have to learn how to really sell, right? You live in Sunny Isles? Oh, that's cool. Southwest Airlines? No, I flew down on American, nonstop from Newark. Going back to the conversation at hand here, the topic, it's important that you learn how to sell, right? So start small, but don't be afraid to sell. And if someone hangs up on you, I can meet with you at the beach right now, laughing my ass off. Ah, ha, ha, you're funny. Okay. I'm not into meeting people, strangers, but I appreciate the offer. Anyway, any books you recommend for sales? Yeah, a book that I really liked, it's more of an entrepreneurial book than a sales book, and it's by Mark Cuban, right? He's the guy who owns the Dallas Mavericks, and he's a hard-ass entrepreneur. I kind of look up to his style, says it like it is type of thing. But he's got one, I think it's called Good Kick in the Ass or something like that. But it's about his startup career as an entrepreneur. Yeah, the Grant Cardone book is good too. Grant Cardone's style is a little bit excessive for me, a little bit rough around the edges, but he knows his stuff. There's no magic to selling, right? Oh, you're welcome. There's no magic to selling. It's basically, in 2015, the way you sell is how you build relationships. Sell or be sold, that's another Grant Cardone book. And he lives here in Miami Beach too, as you probably know. Thanks for the hearts. If you like this Periscope, I do them 3 or 4 times a week. Again, I'm here to help you guys out. I can see, I don't know where his house is, but I'm sure it's one of these buildings here, right? He actually lives in Sunny Isles, I think, right, Cardone. But in any event, I do these scopes a few times a week to help entrepreneurs who want to grow their business. So feel free to follow me on Twitter at DJ Valori. It's the biggest blue building at the end, all right? Let's take a look here if we can see one. There's a big blue one over there that's shaped like, here, I'll point the camera so you can see it. Let me walk up to it. Anyway, I do these scopes 3 times a week to kind of help you guys. That's the Jade. That's not the one? Okay. Yeah, the Jade looks pretty hot. Let me show you that one. It's a pretty cool building. All the way at the end. All right, well, I'm not walking all the way to the end to see Grant Cardone's building. If you invited me in, maybe. If you got connections, you let me know. Anyway, any questions? I appreciate you laughing your ass off. That's great. Any questions on sales as it relates to an entrepreneur and building your sales? As I was saying, from a sales these days, it's all about relationship building, right? So it's not about the number of calls you make, but rather the relationships that you build with your prospects. And you do that through social media. You do it over time with sending thank you notes and, thought you'd be interested in this type of email thing. That's what I do at my company. So when I'm working on a prospect, I don't think, I don't go for a sale within 1 or 2 weeks. It takes months to develop relationships. Relationships are going to bring you in thousands of dollars, right? If you're selling widgets, obviously you don't want to spend that kind of time. It takes longer than traditional sales, absolutely. Building relationships does take longer, but you reap the many, many rewards from doing it that way. Because you can, our sale, especially in my business, our sales are, thousands and thousands of dollars every month. So they're expensive. So people aren't going to write that kind of a check unless they kind of know you and know what you're all about. So building that relationship is very important in sales in 2015. You can use LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. You should definitely do that. But don't forget to send a letter out once in a while or a thank you note that's written from you to that prospect. Because you're right, Rosella, it's all about building the trust and the relationship, and that's when you make that sale, right? So it's kind of a cloudy day here. We flew in, there were a bunch of clouds. But thanks for the heart. So again, if you like this scope, make sure you follow me on Periscope. I'd appreciate that. Hit the little person button there, right down there, the little counter, and add me to your scopes so you don't miss out, because I don't really know when I do these, I just do them. Yeah, it's not crowded at all, Rosella, today. The beach is pretty empty. Where are you guys from anyway? You guys want to hit me up and just let me know where you're from? Again, my name's DJ Valori. I give out entrepreneurial advice from someone who's experienced it. No bullshit, straightforward advice here on stuff that's worked for me and stuff that hasn't worked, right? I haven't been successful in everything I do, but this latest business that I started 12 years ago is now generating, multi-million dollars in revenue every year. We have customers all over the world, so it's going really, really well. And I'm happy to share with you advice and thoughts that I have and how you can build your own business, no matter what you're at, what kind of business you're in, or where you're located. So I do these Periscopes 3-4 times a week when I have an opportunity to do them. I'm really busy with running the company, so make sure you follow me so that you don't miss out on any of these Periscopes. How do you hire a guy smarter than you? Wouldn't that person start their own? That's a good question. So when it comes to hiring, and I just did a Periscope the other day, right, on hiring A players, you want to make sure that you hire the best players you can get. You shouldn't worry about if that person's going to start their own business or not, because not everyone's an entrepreneur, right? We know that. And good thing not everyone's an entrepreneur. But from a sales perspective, you want to hire the best salesperson you can afford to get and make sure they're what I call an A player. Because A players will always be driven by the passion and the excitement and the opportunity that you present to them versus the paycheck, even though you're going to have to pay them handsomely as an A player. B players and C players are only going to hire B players because they don't want to be outshined by other A players, right? So always focus on hiring the best people you can afford, and don't worry if they go out and start their own business. Wanting to start your own business, this is something else that I learned over the years. Wanting to be your own boss and start your own business is one thing. Doing it is another, right? It's not that easy, right? But you can do it, but it takes perseverance. It takes a lot of sacrifices. So just because, you say you want to be an entrepreneur and be your own boss, there are a lot of personal commitments you need to make, you and your family, to be able to do that. So it's not just as easy as waking up one day and saying, that's it, I'm not going to work for someone else anymore. So I'm never afraid of someone working for me wanting to start their own business. If they want to do that, I'll help them and support them in any way, as long as they're not competing with me, right? So, because that's what I'm all about. I don't want to show that trash can anymore in the background, so I'm going to move around over here. There's the pier out there in Sunny Isles. So anyway, thanks for joining me this evening. I really appreciate it. It's coming up on 7:30. If you have any more questions, please be sure to follow me again on Periscope. I'd really appreciate that. This way you don't miss out on any of the episodes that I run. All right, so I'll talk to you next time, and one more look of the beach as I walk back. Any last questions you guys have? Thanks for the tips. All right, Rosella, you're always welcome. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.